What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you a discussion video. You can tell by the title of the video that it's about fair play and what that means for the game and where the game is going, and how point 5 and engineering and also friendly challenge has to take some special consideration for things like tournaments and things like that. I just think it's a good discussion because I think the definition of cheating has slightly changed since back in the day. By the way, House of Zod, I know this looks bad. I'm not claiming House of Zod cheated at all. They're just going to be used as the background of our latest random war. So please don't misinterpret that. So let's start off, though. So back in the day, I believe we could all agree that third-party applications was cheating. You know, you use another application to gain an unfair advantage and to win, right? Well, so with that being said, we're not talking about third-party applications. I do believe that's a gimme. Burner accounts, those are all gimmies, right? I'm talking more about the gray areas and how things have accelerated to become unfair advantages. So the premise is, let's define what cheating is. And so for the sake of the conversation and argument, cheating is basically gaining an unfair advantage. I'm going to say with an asterisk, because you have random spins where, you know, maybe the other side has higher royal levels combined. Maybe you don't have any Town Hall 11s and they have one. I'm not talking about that. I know that just comes with random spins. I'm talking about going grossly out of your way to gain an unfair advantage as cheating, okay? Under that premise. So let's start off with point 5, the birth of it, and where it's at now. So point 5 was a great idea. Its purpose was to ensure you don't become a burden to your clan while you move from levels Town Hall 8 to 9, 9 to 10, so on and so forth. Put things in perspective. You have 50 royal levels to farm once you go to Town Hall 9 as a max Town Hall 8. That's the reason why most people didn't drop bows right away until they were about, like, the theory at least. At least they had at least 15 or something like that. So if you can at least clear your same weight, then it's okay for you to go ahead and start building bows and things like that. This is before we had friendly challenges, friendly wars, and things like that. Arranged wars, it was rare for point 5s to ever get into them. That was the one drawback for that. And that leads into part 1 of this conversation, engineered versus point 5. So I, for one, have Ain't Nobody. My rushed Town Hall 10 is there, and we recently were on a 13 or 14 win streak. I don't remember, but it just seems like the higher in win streak we went, we didn't see more modders or cheaters. We saw more engineered clans, and they didn't have 14 win streaks either, but we saw some wonky matches, is what I saw. And I'm not upset about that at all. I do think that the competition should get higher up and harder the higher up your win streak goes. So what we saw recently, to put things in perspective, Ain't Nobody has 9.5s. I'm the only full Town Hall 10, and I'm rushed. We don't have any 11s. We were matching the wars, 2 of the last 3 wars. The one that we lost against had a full Town Hall 11, totally normal, right, for matchmaking. Just happens. But they had 3 Town Hall 11 offenses on top of that, and their 16th spot was a Town Hall 11 with Town Hall 4 or Town Hall 5 defenses, as well as max minors. Anybody can tell you an 11 with max minors, and all of them did, were going against Town Hall 9 defenses, max defenses even. You just bully and roll your way right through it with 4 or 5 heals. I mean, that's exactly what happened. And so that, I believe, is cheating. I believe that is, however, the unique thing about that comment or statement is that it's not against the terms of service. So is it cheating? And that's the discussion I'd like to see in the comment section. At what point does point 5 stop becoming a avenue of which that you can continue progressing in the game without becoming a burden to your clan, versus you are purposely stacking the odds in your favor for your clan, so that you can keep winning. Where is that gray line that says that? Keep in mind, 0.5 is not engineering. Now, granted, or is not cheating, I should say. Granted, the whole reason why we're even in this situation, that the 0.5 theory got exploited to a situation that you may have faced yourself, is because supercell does not give equal weight to offense as it does to defense. So if you are like me and you think something should be done, and I'll tell you why it should, then tell supercell. Message them, send your message to them, let your voice be heard, and give them a solution or a suggestion of it. Just because you don't like something and sit there complain, you're no better than the person creating the mess, in my opinion. Stop sitting there and complain, go out there and message and do something about it. They do listen. We've seen evidence of that when they introduced friendly challenge, and we were up in arms saying that will kill wars. That will be legal sandboxing. Please put a cooldown feature on it, and they did, and I'm so glad they did. I thought that was a really good thing to do. So on the same aspect like this, please, please, please change the weighting algorithm, because you guys said you put more. They said they fixed it a little bit, but they're not. I'm telling you, they're not. It is not balanced offense versus defense. So what are your thoughts? Put that in the comment section. I'm of the opinion that, I guess it's socially accepted, or in the community accepted, that if you got 15-15 on a Town Hall 9, you should probably be dropping your bows, so on and so forth. But even with that said, it's your game. You play it how you want to, right? It's your game. No one makes you play no one can make you play the game how they want you to play it, except Supercell, and that's defined through the terms of service. So I mean that's the catch-22 that it is, right? So that segues to the next part. Here's the impact that it has. I, for one, am in one hive, right? If you're also in a clan that does arranged wars, the situation I just described with Ain't Nobody, who doesn't do arranged wars very often, if not ever, we do friendly wars, if anything, which is different. It's not clan versus clan. It's like a conglomerate, which is a fun word to say. But I personally don't care. And the reason why is that I have the saving grace, and it's selfish of me to say that, because I'm like, the way I play, I'm going to have a weekend war or another opportunity where the playing fields are going to be equal on each side, and that's where I personally get the most enjoyment out of the game. Some people don't like war. Some people get enjoyment out of just farming, out of just pushing. So the channel and my viewpoint on the game is, it's like chess. I love going head to head, base to base, and then multiply that by 30v30, clan versus clan, right? Fair, equal gameplays. 0.5s are agreed upon, so all that is a wash. But not everybody gets that, but they still play the game with that same passion that I just described, and it takes away the fun from them. So if Supercell doesn't do something about the weighting algorithm, and I know this is an age-old argument, but it's all connected. I think they're going to see more and more people leave the game, because you're going to face more and more engineered clans are going to become a thing. In fact, they already are. And it's not fun. It's not fun at all. That you yourself have to struggle, and that's also the other catch-22. You have to struggle and really put your thinking cap on to clear a base that is higher weight than you, or equal weight, or higher, in order to be a viable option in that war. And it's a lot of, when you do it, you're like, man, I accomplished something. You get a lot of enjoyment. At least I do. And then you go up, then the other guy who's like the number the last spot on the base, no defenses whatsoever, max Town Hall 11 offense, or even Town Hall 10 defense. And yes, he gives up his base for free, but he can not only give up his base, so there's an eye for eye, but he can also do another base, and you can't say that as equally and often as he can. So it's always a +1 differential that you're facing whenever you're facing engineer clans like that. And it immediately, we're not doing this one. That immediately sucks away the fun out of the game. I can sense it in my clan. At Ain't Nobody, it's frustrating as all get out. And I know for a fact Supercell does not want their user base to have that kind of experience playing the game. So fix the weighting algorithm, solves for that. If you're okay with it killing 0.5 theory, would you be okay with it? Because there's a chance that when you're a new 8 becoming a 9 and the weighting algorithm changed that offense is equal, 0.5 I think is still a viable option, but it's not going to be as viable as it once was. Would you be okay with them changing the weighting algorithm if it meant killing 0.5? I'm of the opinion I'm fine with it. Grant, and you guys need to know I'm about to go from 8 to 9. And I'm okay with that. If that means that I'm going to have to struggle transitioning for a little bit longer for the better of the game, I'm down with it. Now let's move on to the next one. Oh gosh. Friendly challenge. Sharing base picks. All that good stuff. So, okay. Friendly challenge is not cheating. It is absolutely fair. However, if you take it to an extreme of building someone's base on a different town hall level, an exact base level that you're looking at, or no, I shouldn't say exact, parts of the base for a higher level so that you can practice on it, that is not what Friendly Challenge was for. That I am of the opinion that when you purposely build parts of a Town Hall 9 base or 10 base or any base that you're facing in war on a different account, not a burner account. I'm just saying, some levels don't have cooldown features. There's ways around that. And if you use Friendly Challenge, which is not against terms of service, to practice on a base that you're currently facing in war, you are by definition violating what we defined in this video segment as what cheating is. Gaining an unfair advantage that your opponent won't do. So that's my opinion. I don't think the rules of the CWO accounted for this. And I think for Season 2, there's going to be a think tank and a wide discussion that's needed about what the definition of cheating is going to mean for Season 2. I have a final segment thought on that as well, but I do think that they should spend a little bit more time. Some information has come to light about how you can utilize Friendly Challenge within the terms of service and still gain an unfair advantage, which is what the CWL is not about, or about tournaments are not about. You want in any tournament, you want a fair, equal playing ground, right? So, here's the catch. Because of YouTube, because of Twitch, because of Instagram, because of Facebook, fill in the freaking blank. Because of technology, it's you're inviting the opportunity for it to be exploited. Here's what I mean. Okay, so all my One Hive's raids were streamed. Right, they're commonly streamed. Your wars might be streamed or recapped even on YouTube. Basically, last war, the weekend war that happened, I bet you right now you can go look around YouTube and find some of the top tier clan names out there and the bases that they run from Town Hall 11 all the way down to 9. You can build their bases right now, have a cooldown feature for 24 hours, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, practice on that base because you have 5 extra slots. We'll call 4 because obviously you have your own war base and your farm base. So we'll say 3 to be on the safe side. You have a lot of options where you can keep that base shell design and practice on it because maybe it gave you trouble during the war or something like that. Is that cheating? You're practicing on a base, right? I'm of the opinion it's not. Because here's why. If there was a base that you didn't clear last war, there's something that you can learn from why you didn't pass that, like what the angle of attack was or something like that, and you're no longer in the war, so you're practicing on that strategy. Maybe it was you were hog heavy and it was a Laloon base, okay? So now you get a chance to practice a new base technique to try to overcome that. throughout the week, right? You're growing as a player. However, if you use this fact and then bank on the fact or count on a fact that someone's going to recycle a base, that is, I think, exploiting the system. I don't think that's fair play. I think that's fairly playing the system, which is, I think, we're seeing a lot of nowadays in our community. Fairly playing the system as opposed to fair play, because it's not against terms of service. I do think that the person that decided to recycle their base, basically use the same war base from last week to the next week, shares that responsibility, that burden. I do. I think if they run a risk. You just have to. If you're in the elite war scene, you're running the risk. All your bases are burned every week. If you're not okay with burning your base and having to build a new base every war, then sorry, you shouldn't be in the elite war scene, because your base is out there somewhere on YouTube. I guarantee it. And if that doesn't mean that someone practiced on your base all week long. It just means my leadership clan. I thought I put on no. I have my own personal. People are trying to get my attention. Oh my God! I thought I put do not disturb. Anyway, you run the risk of running the same base is what I'm getting at. So a part of that responsibility is on you, because now someone can just go to YouTube and just look at how your base was taken down or what parts didn't work. They can now, which I think would be funny that they showed a fail on it or something like that, unless it was a live attack. That's kind of on you. You need to put in the work if you're going to be in the elite war scene, in my opinion. However, if you are about to face someone and you see that they use the exact same base and you know somebody has that base build in one of their maps to practice on, and you purposely go over there to practice on the base during that same war, that is a whole different kind of cheating, in my opinion. And again, it's weird. I can't even say it's cheating because it's not against the terms of service. That's the catch. So we've seen some interesting developments that have come out. Here's where enclosure is. I'm kind of saddened by it all. I really am. Tournaments never existed. Not until recently. They never existed. And so now we have a beautiful thing, a friendly war that wasn't in the game that I know I love. But yet we have a few individuals that are exploiting the system, according to the terms of service, to gain unfair advantages in order to win. And I find it sad, and I'm troubled that players, like the people that form the CWL, that people that form the MLCW, that people that form tournaments, like even the 10v10 and 5v5, I personally don't want to go to those tournaments if I know people in there are gaming the system or they have malicious behavior. For me, it's like, why bother? That's actually why I almost quit this game. Modding was rampant, so why would I even put in the effort to try to clear bases? It just wasn't even, like, I don't care. It wasn't fair. And then when they did the modding, the banhammer, I totally came back and I was regenerated. But now, even if a banhammer comes down, you're not going to catch some of the stuff that we're talking about here because it's not against the terms of service. So what I think needs to happen and what will solve some of that is Supercell has millions of dollars. Take some of that dollars and put a freaking commissioner in charge of a tournament. You guys were recently saying in your news that you're looking for a community manager. Add another position. You're looking for a community director or a tournament director. Someone that is in charge of, and then you create an infrastructure or department that their sole job is to organize, run, execute, police, and ensure it is run fairly, a tournament. And so and why is that important is the idea has been hatched by some great users of the game that don't get paid to do this. They can then stop dealing with the drama that comes out of it, because there's accusations of people saying, oh, so-and-so mod, so-and-so cheated, I saw so-and-so go over there, so on and so forth. But what we found out since the launch of it is a lot of lessons that need to be a lot of lessons that were learned and a lot of obstacles that presented themselves that need to be solved for before season 2 happens. And it's just so much work and they don't get paid for it. Have Supercell do it. I'm of the opinion if Supercell used some of those millions of dollars to invest into something like a tournament committee or something like that, take the responsibility and short a burden off of the users so that they can get back into playing the game and not listening to bullshit all the time. That will be echoes and just propel the game to the next level that it needs to go for a long time. That's where I'm at. And then here's the last part it will do. You have, and I'm not making accusations because Plow, the leader of One Hive, is an admin for the CWL. So I say that with that fact being said. But there's some people that believe punishments or punishments or the way that certain situations are handled aren't dealt with appropriately in their eyes because they assume, well, they have a leader that's an admin, so they're biased. So by taking away the player from that equation and situation and putting it all back on a commissioner for a tournament thing, it completely eliminates that argument. Completely. Unless, of course, you have a contract with Supercell, then you have people who are like, oh, yeah, he's on the payroll, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, there's my 2 cents. What do you guys think about all of this? What do you think should be the answers for the perfect world of a 0.5 versus not having a 0.5? Weighting algorithms, should they stay the same? Should there be any changes made for what the definition of cheating is? How do you catch that? How do you prove that? What is your suggestion for rules and regulations and of the next tournament that comes out? What would you like to see Supercell do to fix some of the things that we were talking about in this video? I'm sorry it's really long. I know that there's a lot of people that have opinions, so I'd love to hear them in the comment section. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you got to be better than a double, and I will check you next time.